problem with pedestals. They are usually built on sand. Recently, the YouTube community has been up in flames. Shocking, I know. I don't need to tell you what's going on, because when it involves big names like Jeffree Star and Dawson and Jenna Marbles, you're eventually going to find out sooner or later. Now, this video is not going to be about spilling tea. I don't even like drinking tea. But rather, I want to talk to you guys about the problem with pedestals. Why? Because while everyone is at home going stir crazy, being bombarded with all this crazy nonsense drama, I'm kind of hoping to start a conversation on how far we've allowed these people, these strangers really, to take over our minds. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, because I've been really good about uploading every single week recently. And with all of that said, let's jump into the problem with pedestals.
Quick, do me a favor. Think of your favorite movie or TV character. Chances are you thought of someone you can very easily relate to, be it Aunt Zelda or Scott Lang. A lot of the times we fall in love with fictional characters because somewhere deep inside we identify with them. And in their fictional universe, they are often a perfect individual, be it perfectly heroic, perfectly tragic, or perfectly villainous. Even if they have any major flaws, those are usually portrayed in such a way that you can't help but love them, because they aren't real flaws that real people have. At the end of the day, these characters are often the hero of their stories, or at least that's how we see them. But here's the thing we don't realize. The main reason we fell in love with these characters is because we identified with them. Deep down, when we see a part of ourselves in someone else, we begin to root for them. And when they go on to do heroic things, we feel a sense of pride and heroism in ourselves. And that is exactly why these characters are initially written to be extremely relatable. I know this is a long-winded explanation, but I'm about to make a good point, I promise. So these characters are specifically written to be relatable. Now, let's look at YouTube. The real charm of YouTube has always been accessibility. It is regular people like you and me broadcasting our own regular lives and our regular messages to the whole world. At the end of the day, it is centered around you, hence why it's called YouTube. However, as time has gone by, YouTube has morphed into yet another giant fictional universe. There are some amazing creators, amateur and professional, who post stunning content on here, and they finally have a platform and a viewership that they probably wouldn't have outside of the internet. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we love our favorite YouTubers because we feel a sense of relatability to them. Their lives could just as easily be our own lives, if not just slightly better. But remember what I said about your favorite fictional characters? Here's the thing, we are so deeply influenced by fiction that we often forget that these characters are not real. Think about it, in your mind, Tony Stark was some real billionaire inventor and you definitely cried at his funeral. I know I did. And somewhere along the line, we managed to blur the lines between imagination and reality, all thanks to the phenomenon of being relatable. Before we dive into part 2, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon page where I'm going to be sharing most of my new art from this point on. As my patrons, not only do you get early access to every one of these videos, you also get to download the art from each video, including this one, and even wallpapers and printable versions that you can have on your PC or your phone or even up in your room. Plus, I share some cool fan art and behind the scenes posts, as well as Patreon only paintings from my own personal art collection. Your support would mean the whole world to me, and it helps me keep making all this fun content for you. So check out patreon.com/SrishCreates, link is in the description. Alright, back to your regularly scheduled video. So when we look at our YouTubers who, thanks to the very nature of the platform, are just everyday people, we see ourselves in them. And thanks to Hollywood, we are now conditioned to think that anyone who is relatable is automatically a hero. Sure, they're allowed to have some flaws, but only ones that can be fixed before the finale. We start to project these fictional, unattainable traits onto YouTubers because we relate to them and want to see them win, which is basically just us wanting to see ourselves win. However, YouTubers or celebrities of any kind haven't grown up with a perfectly dysfunctional life. They don't have just the right flaws or enough good traits that the flaws will magically disappear. Real people have real problems and real mistakes that have real consequences. So when YouTubers, the people that we relate to the easiest, when YouTubers fail to live up to these unrealistic fictional expectations that we unknowingly place on them, the disappointment can feel like a blow to the head. We expect these people to be a specific romanticized image, and when they veer slightly away from it, the illusion begins to fade. We start to realize that just as these popular celebrities have all the wonderful attributes that we can relate to, they also have a shadow side that is very similar to our own inner darkness. And no one likes to be shown a reflection of their own shadow side. So when I see people like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star and Tati Westbrook and the Paul brothers being cancelled, it is neither surprising nor upsetting to me personally. Sure, we love a good sarcastic drama video, but personally, I don't attach expectations to people, particularly people that I've never met and don't know as a friend. Because at the end of the day, these people are real with actual real life flaws. They're not some Draco Malfoy with a really attractive broodiness, let alone some Luna Lovegood with a delightfully whimsical aloofness. These celebrities grew up with the same circumstances as you and me, and likely have made the same mistakes that you and I did. Am I saying this to excuse someone's behavior? Hell no! Definitely hold people accountable for the things they've said and done. Let them know that this isn't okay. They can't treat people, especially their audience, the way that they do. But don't look at a mistake or a flaw in isolation. Weigh it up against everything else they've said and done. If it turns out that they've always been problematic and this is a cherry on top of a poop cake, we need to seriously consider why we let them get away with it for so long. However, if they have since grown and changed, that has got to count for something. Like Jenna Marbles. I didn't much vibe with her until after Julian came into the picture. I think they've grown so much together and brought out the best in each other. And say what you want, this is my personal opinion. Jenna is one YouTuber who has grown not just as a content creator, but as a person. But in my opinion, please don't come at me, in my opinion, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star have gone the other way. I've always been terrified of Jeffree, even before he started the cosmetics brand. He's amazing at makeup and his products are probably phenomenal. I don't know because I don't use any. But as a person, Jeffree scares the bejesus out of me. So when these things come out about him, it is neither shocking nor unprecedented. Shane Dawson, though, has been the most disappointing to me personally if I had to pick someone to be disappointed in. His content was so funny and wholesome-ish when he was doing like the bad DIYs and slime. Remember that era? But I think ever since the documentary started, his content has really devolved into straight up manipulation and drama. A product of bad company? Probably. And just like with all of you lot, I totally fell for Tati's Bye Sister video. I loved Tati, she was extremely wholesome, totally detached to the mainstream YouTube community, until she wasn't. and then she was part of the mess. Looking back at that video, it was so incredibly petty, it's unreal. But at the end of the day, who am I to say these things about these people? I believe everyone is a product of 3 C's: childhood, company, and circumstances. At any given point, one of these 3 things can change, which in turn changes you as a person, right? So sure, everyone is allowed to make errors in judgment. What I don't agree with, however, is using your childhood, company, and circumstances as a shield to deflect criticism, and B, a tool to manipulate those who love you. The only people that I truly believe in and can fully get behind are the ones who use the 3 C's, who use their childhood, company, and circumstances as a catalyst to help them grow as a person. I choose to only look for this growth, and old hurtful actions don't hurt me anymore. I choose to look at growth because that's who I am as a person, and it has most certainly helped me drop all these unrealistic expectations, and as a result drop the disappointment when someone doesn't meet said expectations. So what do we do with the people we label as problematic? Nothing at all. Give them no attention, no time out of your day, no energy. Effectively take away their platform, and by that I mean their viewership, until they get the loud and clear message that this behavior is not okay and will not continue to help you grow your business. Once they've gotten the message, watch how they react. Do they choose to wallow in self-pity? A certain lipstick scandal comes to mind. Or do they choose to learn from their errors and grow as individuals? And for the love of all that is holy, stop putting these people on pedestals. Stop putting anyone on a pedestal whom you don't know personally, because I can promise you they will disappoint you. Pedestals are like building tall towers on pillars of sand. Sooner or later, they will crumble.
This was going to be a completely different video, but I kind of had a light bulb moment in the shower last week, so here it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope it wasn't too antagonizing. Again, this is just my opinion. Jeffree Star, please don't come for me. I'm just making commentary on the situation. But yeah, if you like this video, please remember to leave it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment below, tell me what video you want to see next. And with all of that said, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy and now getting rid of all the false pedestals you might have put people on. I know I am. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!